WWE is presenting Night of Champions, where kings and queens will be crowned, and a greatest of all time will try to dethrone the best in the world. This is going to be a very, very interesting show at Night of Champions. So let's break it down. Sami Zayn against Karrion Kross. This one has been brewing for a while, and a lot of people are very excited that Kross is going to get this opportunity. I think from a match standpoint, this is going to be fun. I think this is a matching of styles that Sami Zayn can really thrive in, and the type of like brutish physical style of Karrion Kross I think matches really well with Sami Zayn and the underdog character and everything like that. So from a match standpoint, I think these two, pardon the pun, but I think they match pretty well together. From a story standpoint, I think there is some intrigue here. I don't just want this to be Sami Zayn overcomes the odds and he gets the win and we move on. I think this needs to be part of a bigger overall character progression now for Sami Zayn. I don't know if it needs to be him with Karrion Kross just as a team together, or if the attitude that Kross is kind of putting out there needs to be transferred to Sami in some way, but the Sami Zayn tries really hard and wants to be the champion and gets close to being the champion, or at least getting an opportunity to be the champion, but then he doesn't. We can only do that so many times without some character progression, and that is not a knock on the character or on the performer or anything like that. It is just how stories work. We need some progression, I think, with this, and I think this needs to be it. Honestly, there are a lot of opportunities for some pretty significant storyline progression here this weekend at Night of Champions. We go to the street fight. By the way, prediction for that one, I am going to say, this is actually pretty close. You know what? Karrion Kross. I think Karrion Kross gets the win because I think we are going to get a different view of Sami, and I think Kross getting the win, it just feels like he could use it more, and it adds more to the storytelling aspect of it. Rhea against Raquel in a street fight. I would imagine we get some form of Roxanne Perez involvement in this, and that is going to continue the storyline. I wonder if you also get a Nikki Bella coming in, and you just have a bit of a, like, we had talked about before on YouTube here anyway, and it will be on Living Room Lariats, about how where best to position now everything coming out of Liv Morgan, and I had said Roxy just fills in that spot, and that does mean a matchup with Nikki Bella, so have Roxy come out, try to help out Raquel, Nikki comes out to counter it, and now you have set that thing up. In terms of what this match is going to be, these two have a pretty good chemistry together, and I am very, very very, very fascinated to see what they look like in an in-ring capacity. So I think that they are going to put together a very good match, and I think ultimately Rhea gets the win and just continues to look dominant and awesome. But I think this match is going to be an overly violent one with a little bit of story that is happening. U.S. title on the line. Jacob Fatu against Solo Sikoa. It is probably too easy to just assume that at some point Hikuleo is going to come out and cost Jacob Fatu, and he is going to be the next member of Solo Sikoa's whatever they are right now, this new bloodline or anything, and it will be Solo with Cobb, and then either the Tongans after or not, or whatever. But I just think that this is the time for that, and you don't. It feels too early to take the title off of Jacob Fatu, but I think for a strong storyline purpose, you can work with that. Have Fatu fighting from underneath as the babyface now, and just kind of running through a few guys to get to that ultimate solo destination. And I think that leads to a lot of fun storytelling, a lot of interesting opportunities for Fatu, and to be able to build him up into an even bigger star than maybe he already is. So I think that there's going to be shenanigans, and I think Solo is going to win the United States Championship. Queen of the Ring. It is Asuka taking on Jade Cargill. This does feel like, again, pardon the pun, the coronation for Jade. It feels like this is the time that the rocket ship that people have been wanting to attach to her for a while is now going to be attached to her, and gives her the opportunity to get into that main event stage. I don't know if the matchup with Tiffany is going to be the way to do that, but I think that you already saw more from her against Roxy. It is not perfect still. I don't know if it ever will be, but the presence is obviously there. The character is obviously there, and I think that is enough to get her into the title picture here. So it's been good that Asuka gets this opportunity and this spotlight and a few wins under her belt, but now I think it is time for Jade to get the Queen of the Ring win. On the King of the Ring side, it is Randy Orton taking on Cody. And I think there is enough of a story with Randy Orton and either Cena or Punk that there is at least like 2% of you that would think maybe they do go back with Randy Orton against John Cena at SummerSlam. But I think the obvious direction here is Cody Rhodes taking on John Cena at SummerSlam, and you get there through a King of the Ring performance. I think this match is going to be fun. I think that these are two guys who are going to work very well together, and maybe it does set up some kind of a rivalry down the road, but I think that the main story here is Cody against Cena as we go into the back part of the year of Cena. That this is probably the way to start that off. And then the undisputed title is on the line as John Cena takes on CM Punk. The build for this has been interesting. It has been frustrating at times. I said on the look ahead on Monday that I think that this is the Pipe Bomb 2.0 promo was fine. I didn't love that we didn't get much of a follow-up off of it or anything like that, but I think it was fine. And now I think that you at least have presented like that sort of a tribute act in this thing. The match itself, I've said before, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm just not. And I have major concerns about what this is going to look like. And in the end, I just don't see a way that I don't believe that Punk is going to be the one to take the belt off of Cena at Night of Champions. I don't buy that right now. So I think Cena is going to be the guy coming out of this here at Night of Champions, progressing toward SummerSlam. So those are my picks for what could happen at Night of Champions. As mentioned before, throughout the week, we have a new wrestling podcast with Couch Potato Diary. It is going to be called Living Room Lariat. It is going to be available on Friday morning with all the wrestling coverage that you have heard here on the flagship show of Couch Potato Diary, plus a couple extra bonus features on there for the podcast listening audience. So if you are a wrestling fan who doesn't necessarily want to sit through all of the sportsy stuff on here, I understand it. I think there's some good stuff, but I understand. There is now a wrestling venture for you with Living Room Lariat. Right now only available on Spotify, but should be available everywhere soon. And it will have that and some stuff that you won't hear on the flagship podcast part. We're still going to do it on the live streams, and the video portion will still be up on YouTube. But if you just want it all together in one spot, it is going to be available over on Living Room Lariat, and it is also going to be available in video podcast form.